Hello, welcome to my show. My name's Patrick. It is the day after Labor Day, and I have a couple thoughts. First, the last month or so I've been feeling very heavy eyelids during the day, and I saw someone mention that it was due to the frequency increasing on the planet. And this is something we discussed has been going on and will continue for the next few years. And as the frequency increases, the demons can't live here. So all these wars of the last 100 years, that's about it. The wars will go down. Trump is predisposed not to go to war, but he will do occasional bombings. But the whole thing is to ratchet it down, all the hostilities, and other countries are going to be forced to do the same, so we're just trying to unwind Syria right now, and North Korea. Those are the big ones, and Ukraine. But let's just watch if that statement is true. Could you go on a scale 1 through 10? Can you see it? All right, can you show me that 1? Okay, it's going down to 1. There's 1. 0, please. 0. Okay. Is that statement true, that the frequency increase of the last couple of months is making people sleepy and groggy, their eyelids, during the day? Boom. Do you see that? That's a 90% true. So that's where we are. And then, so if you're experiencing that a little bit, I was thinking it was the computer screen, which will make you tired if you get too close. I have a tendency to get close. And so that's true. So these phenomenon are going on, and we're going to see more the veil get lifted, and people are going to be intuitive more so. So that's what's happening with the Democratic Party. People intuitively know that the Marxist ideology that they're selling, and this is open border, that goes back to I believe the Trotsky and all those guys, Bolsheviks. This is an old philosophy that came around at the turn of the century, and it's still here, and this is their last hurrah. And the other thing is, many of the universities, they're peddling this worthless ideology that doesn't help you live life, get along with other people and other cultures. It causes more friction. And all these people who carry this as a weapon. It's been weaponized socially in the public places, in universities, in the political theater, even our culture, the movies. The people are going to turn it off. We're just turning it all off. And if the universities fail, if the big media companies such as Google, YouTube, and Facebook, if they fail, that's okay. We can live without them, or we'll redesign them. And let's just look at that quickly, please. Is that statement I just said, starting from 1, is it true? How much truth is there that these big media companies will fail? 100% true. The underlining factor is their intention, the creation of these companies, was to subjugate the population with an ideology that is anti-spirit, anti-soul of the individual, to express themselves. And they're using violence through Antifa and things of that nature. They're all going away. I remember a year ago I said Black Lives Matter days were numbered. And that's because the money is going to be cut off from Soros. The money's still going in, but it is getting less and less and less. And you're going to see these organizations start to disappear. They can't resonate with the new vibration of people working together, actually solving problems. And even the Latino one, I can't remember, what are they called? La Raza. And they had to change their name because their brand is warlike against the American culture. So they're attacking the American culture, but they want to bring multicultural. So instead of one culture at the table, which represents all the races, right? Because we believe in American philosophy of the Bill of Rights and things of that nature, that people should have freedom to worship. They want to bring it in and say, no, the American culture is bad, and you're one of 20 cultures at the table. That diminishes American culture. And that's my premise all along. It's not a perfect culture, but I haven't seen a single one that's better on the world. I've been to many countries all my life. I've been very fortunate. My mother was a teacher, and she would just go to different countries, and we learn about these other cultures, and they don't have anything on us. We lack a little short-sightedness sometimes, but we always believe, we always had an optimism that we can, as spiritual beings, find ourselves and express ourselves and go out there and do what we can. Other cultures in the world are just oppressive. They're really bad. And that's what they want to do. The Marxists, Leninists, they want to come into this and dismember the American culture. And the American culture we had a bumpy history. The flag represents our history with all its warts. And that's okay. We overcame them. That's what the Bill of Rights was all about, to overcome our differences. And we are sitting here, people are attacking it. These are the same, Nike pushing Kaepernick again. They're going to start trying to get this kneeling thing going again. They're dying. He's like stupid. He's killing the golden goose for basically young African-American young men. He's killing their paychecks. And we can already see, you can see signs of it, that they're not saying it, but all the high-priced athletes in the NFL are being traded to decrease their budgets for salaries. And the Cardinals are the most obvious. They just got rid of a lot. And you're going to see that continue through. Go to zero, please. Is that statement true? NFL teams will start to unload the high-priced talent? Yeah, they already did it. 100% true. That's Dow's. That is the Christ light looking down at the world and trying to give you an objective point of view how the universe sees what's happening here. So the NFL has a crisis, and some owners know it, and they'll eventually get to the point where they're just going to fire a lot of these people. If you kneel, we're not there yet, but it's going to be down the road. Are they going to fire football players that kneel during the NFL? Will they start firing them if they do that? Look, and it was done really fast because the issue is not them. It's not their right to protest. It's the right of the marketplace saying, you can't force me to be entertained by your hate for the flag and the country. And as we said, we're not saying we're perfect here. We're trying to improve the country, but we don't have very much in common between us, other than the Constitution and the flag. We have a few items of patriotism. Other nations have a lot more, and it's very oppressive. And so that's what I wanted to get there. So they're going down the wrong road still. Nike, let me see. Could you show me? Will there be significant blowback monetarily, revenue-wise, to Nike going with the flag kneelers? Yes, there's going to be a significant blowback to Nike to do this. So we're moving forward. I had a few other things. What were I going to say? Oh, the election's coming up at midterm. I said this before. There's no way the Democrats will win. This train has left the station. They are being left behind. I wouldn't be surprised in time. I always thought a couple years ago I said this about the midterms. I said the Democrats will not win and Trump's going to do well. How well? That's the question. There's going to be fraud. They're working on it. It's going to take New York and California are very difficult to crack. But in California, there'll be significant reduction of fraud of the Democrats against not just Republicans, not this moderate thing, but constitutionalists, people who are for freedom of expression, freedom to get out there, and not this Marxist, feminist, this hate of the universities. I mean, they're going to have to close the universities down, and I think that's going to be in the cards to go back to... I have all these thoughts, so I'll try to do two really quick. And I am not wrong on the culture. Never. I'm only wrong on football games and sometimes the political stuff. But I did pick France to win the World Cup, but I never put it up. I just wanted to tell you that those things aren't important. The culture, the energy of the soul, of the culture, and the people are important. So, will they start closing universities due to this political correctness crazy? Look at that. Boom. It just went right to it. Look at it. 100%. These are all in the cards. You don't need the dowsing rods to show you, but it does measure the energy where it's going. This train is left. These university professors will be fired, laid off. They're not good for anything. They can't do any work. They went and wrote a whole bogus departments. We have to get back to the classics. The classics aren't perfect. I was really fortunate in high school. I went to 12 schools in 12 years when I was young. That's who I am. There's positive and negative to that kind of lifestyle. I was fortunate. The last school I went to was heavy classical. And they were way ahead. They were way ahead of the colleges I went to. I was so fortunate. And it was overseas. It was a small school. And it was in Rome, Italy, of all places. And it was really neat. It was really, really neat. And the teachers were just super. They really cared. And I guess I'll tell you, someday I'll talk about it because it's important. Because I see that the education people are getting now, they're teaching just lies. In the history book, they're teaching lies. They're taking away the self-empowerment of all the individuals to express themselves. And it's really sad. But it's going to change because the economy will change and the culture will change. And as I said before, I said this years ago, 2 years ago, all the illegal immigrants, 75–80% will be gone. This is in Europe as well. They're all going back. And it's nothing against them. We must have compassion for this whole time. But the host soul of the United States, and I'm not getting into the Native American thing, who owns the land and stuff. The higher dimensions has ordained these events to transpire. And this whole thing about migration to destroy culture, that's Marxism. Go back to Trotsky. Go back to all these classical, they're not classical writers. These are demons. These are all demonic philosophies that were against Christ. I can just go there and go, okay, here, give me illegal immigration. What is the intention of the designers? Oh, excuse me. Let's do this. It's pointing to 1 because the intention is 0. It's really dark. Was the intention of illegal immigration and the money behind it and the people pushing it, was it to destroy the American culture? Was it to destroy the American culture? It just takes off. Boom. Boom. It was resting against my shoulder. And the previous question, what was their intention? It was a 1 out of 100. It was demonic. And we know this. I've been mentioning this. All we're doing is wrestling control back to get, even the music today, all this hip-hop, we're going to go back to more soul music, more folk music that people can actually sing around a campfire. It's going to be more participatory, even gospel music and things. All that music was destroyed to make for hip-hop, which is satanic. And we already know that too. And even rock and roll from the 60s. I already told you a lot of it was, it's embedded with satanic sigils to get into your auric field to change you, and then they drop acid and drugs on you. You didn't have a chance, you guys. You didn't have a chance. But a big chunk of the young kids understand this. I would say the majority don't right now. They're kind of stupid. And they don't, and they might have a very difficult time changing gears. But a lot of them are really, their eyes are wide open. They see what's happening. And they know that we have to get rid of these foreign philosophies that want to suppress the individual. And especially like we can go into like in the Middle East. I've been all over the Middle East, and it's very suffocating. Everything about it. You have to watch what you say. And I'm not impressed with their culture. All right? I am much more impressed with the Chinese culture, the original Chinese culture, and they're going to overthrow the Chinese Communist Party. The original soul of the Chinese people will, we can just look at this too, will the soul of the Chinese people resurrect and reassert their spiritual being. Again, this is really easy. And so I'm going to go. And the last thing I wanted to say was I thought that the Democrats would lose maybe 15 seats in the House of Representatives. I used to say 4, and I'm going up to 18. I'm getting kind of different answers, but it's going to be significantly more. I'll stand by 15 right now, all right? That's my latest for the House. And then the Senate, I always get about 4. You know, Senate Republican seats will be additional to what they get. They won't lose the House. I don't think, you know, that McCain lady, you know, the husband died. She's not going to get the seat as much as I can see. Let's just check. Is she going to get the seat? Yes. Give me the probability. Just give me the probability. See, the probability is pretty low. Is she going to get the seat? Is she going to get the seat? And then over here, no. So it's no. And it's a low probability. So we're moving forward. It's going to be really, really tough. I wanted to measure the frequency of the people for September, October, up to the election. And it's going to be really bad all the way through and 2 months after the election. Why? Because the Marxists, they're not Democrats, but they're in the Democratic Party. The Marxists will go out on the streets, they'll pay for it, but we're gonna stop them because our frequency of the planet is moving so fast. We have to change now. You have to start changing your discipline of your life, your thinking, to adjust to the new frequency. It's going to be unforgiving, the new frequency. It's not going to let people, I'm not going to sit around and talk to Marxists. It's a waste of time. Don't waste your time talking to them. You can't waste your time with people. They're basically possessed by an ideology that was fake, that came from Satan. That's what Marxism, feminism, all these relativism, nihilism, this, you know, oh, we should keep God out of the classroom or something. Well, let's define God. We want to bring the higher frequencies into our life. The music, the literature, the way we relate to nature, to really feel it and to feel our dreams. And then we can go from there. It's just an exciting time, but it's not going to waste, it's not going to hold anyone's hands. This is not going to be pretty. And the old paradigm is going to fight back. The demons are fighting, but they're losing. They're disappearing. They can't swim in this sea of love. All right? Thank you, and we'll go from here later. Bye-bye.